Being in the manufacturing industry, it's really important to know the strength and durability of different materials. So in this video, we're going to test the strength of 6063 T6 aluminum alloy in a variety of everyday and fantastical scenarios. Make sure you stick around to the end because it may start off mild, but it gets pretty ridiculous. Now, why 6063 T6? Mainly it's because that is the most popular alloy for building outdoor structures in a commercial or high-end residential space, and it's what we had on hand. This is a 2x10 beam with an 1/8 inch sidewall, and we're going to hit it or drop things on it to see how well it holds up, because you can read or see charts, but it's different to actually, see it in person. So we're gonna start our first fantastical scenario is gonna be a mint. Now, as the 90s sitcom Seinfeld told us, mints have magical properties. We decided not to use a junior mint because those are a little too soft. So we have a lifesaver, and we're gonna see how the 6063 T6 can hold up to a lifesaver. I'm wearing sunglasses inside because it allows us to get a POV and because it's cool. We're gonna be dropping this mint from about 7 feet in the air. Let's see how it does. So the mint broke into 5 pieces, which is a little more than I expected. I expected maybe 3, but it seems the tensile strength of the metal was too much for the structural integrity of the mint. Our next scenario is, imagine that your home is on a golf course and Tiger Woods is shooting 9 or 18 holes, and he gets a little frustrated because he keeps missing. Unlikely for Tiger, but this is a fantastical scenario. He launches a golf ball towards your home where you are using 6063 T6. So even a furious Tiger Woods would not be able to damage this material. Now, this is 1/8 inch thick, so pretty thick, but the golf ball is no match for this metal. The next scenario, let's say you live in a neighborhood, and the kids, they like to play baseball in the backyards, and somebody just hits a dinger right at your house. So I didn't have any baseballs, so I borrowed this one off my dad's desk. It is signed by a Babe Ruth. I don't think he'll mind. All right, so now I'm just gonna whip this, see what happens. Still unscathed. The powder coat is unscathed through all this, which would be technically the first thing to fail, and the metal itself is totally fine. So we are going to elevate the stakes a little bit. We got a cantaloupe. Now, the last 2 items, their structural integrity was fine. After the drop, the cantaloupe I am less confident in. It has more mass than anything else we've dropped, but it's a little bit softer. So we're gonna see how this fares, both the cantaloupe and the metal itself.
That hit me, I'm suing.
It looks like you have a little abrasion, but that's just cantaloupe skin. So here's the cantaloupe. It's not bruised, which is kind of cool, but the nice coloring there, it obviously was transferred over here. So we're gonna throw this and might have a mess in our hands. So our valiant cantaloupe did not make it through this experiment. Now, the cantaloupe's service will always be remembered, and it was not in vain, because we learned something very valuable. Cantaloupes cannot defeat 6063 T6 aluminum beams. And that is why they're called cantaloupes and not cantaloupes. All right, the next scenario, we've all had birds fly into our homes, and they get a lot of speed, but in this scenario, the issue is speed versus mass to get the right force. Since I can't get enough speed to match a bird flying into your home, we got a rotisserie chicken. That was an aggressive sound. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with the powder coat or the metal itself. So this metal can handle a bird strike. Now, if you've seen the movie Chicken Run, they are able to launch themselves over the fence. So if you're in a chicken run scenario, will this handle it? So I'm going to throw the chicken now into the beam. I don't want to do this. The chicken lost its front wing in that impact. The beam is fine. The beam hadn't had any issues. So what have we learned so far? This aluminum is ridiculously strong. It can handle mints, which isn't really a testament to strength, golf balls, baseballs, cantaloupes, and even chickens. So we're thinking, what is the furthest we can take this in a reasonable time frame? The answer is bowling ball. We got a 12-pound bowling ball called the Black Widow. It was on Amazon, and we were gonna see if this metal and powder coat's been fine, can handle the impact from a bowling ball. Now, I don't know a lot about bowling, but when we got this, I thought it would come with holes in it for my fingers. Turns out it does not. So the Google told me that when you buy a bowling ball, you're supposed to get it sized and get your own holes drilled in there. So I'm gonna have to hold it like a fool because I did not know that. I'm gonna be shocked if this does not at least cause a dent. Okay, so the powder coat is still intact, and there is the tiniest little impression right here, and you really have to look for it. Other than that, totally fine. So costume change, because I had to do some math for a few days. Not too bright. So we saw the bowling ball hit our beam. Now it hit the weakest part of the structure because there's just air underneath there and it's a 10-inch span. So the bowling ball fell from 7.5 feet, reaching a velocity of 14.1 feet per second. With a mass of 5,433 grams, that gives us a little bit over 50 joules of kinetic energy. Now that's a lot of jargon, so what does that mean in the real world? Now most people aren't gonna be throwing bowling balls at your house or your structure, so we're gonna look at hail. Now, a 12-pound bowling ball falling from 7.5 feet has about the same kinetic energy as a softball-sized piece of hail. So, to damage the weakest part of our unit, you have to be getting hit with softball-sized hail. Now, in that scenario, your roof is going to be gone. If you park outside, your car is destroyed. And if people are outside, it's a mass casualty event. So, you're gonna be calling your insurance company, you're gonna have a lot bigger problems, and they will help cover the structure. Assuming the structure meets building codes, otherwise you're out of luck. Now, back to me before I do the math. So I guess we all learned something today. And that is why we use the 6063 T6 at the Luxury Pergola. So check it out, luxurypergola.com. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.